What's up, producers? This is DJ Bods, and today I'm going to be showing you in my first YouTube video how to make a track like Michael Bibi or Pawsa. I mean, Michael Bibi is the hottest thing in tech house at the moment, isn't he? So I'll give you a quick sample of what I'm working with. I'm trying to do it in the style of Hanging Tree, which I used as a reference, as you can see here. So I'll A-B it with my reference track. So as you can hear, there's quite a lot going on with my track here. So we've got these guitars, which I'll talk about first. So this was a sample I found on Splice, actually. I thought it sounded a lot like Eyes on Fire. That if you've heard that Zed's Dead remix of Eyes on Fire, it's got that new. It's got a really nice guitar sample. So that's kind of what I was going for, because Michael Bibi did a remix of it, which will be coming out soon. I think it's unofficial at the moment, but yeah. So I found this on Splice, and this is what it sounds like isolated. Obviously, you can hear some heavy sidechain compression, but the first thing I went and chucked on it was CLA guitars, because without CLA guitars, it's so dry and it's so weak. Well, it's not that weak. I mean, it depends what you're going for, really, but after that, I chucked a little bit of drum bus, because you know how drum bus be. Just beefs everything up. You can imagine everything. Everything should go through drum bus. And then after that, I've got this EQ that turns on and off that kind of gets rid of the low end for the sub, which I'll get into later what the sub is doing. So yeah, I've got that. And then I've just slightly delayed one and detuned it on the other channels. So I've got two of them, then I'm panning them left and right. And then if you bring them to the middle, it just sounds like it's chorusing, or yeah, you know, it's not that great. But when you pan them, it's just like the wideness you get out of it is fantastic. So yeah, there was that, and that's pretty much it. I mean, I didn't want to do bit reduction. I compressed it a bit because it was a bit like flicky when the guitarist obviously recorded it. There were loud parts and soft parts, and I wanted to get rid of that, so just kind of squash the volume down to where I can it fits better in a house track. I mean, that's electronic music for you. Compression. Sorry, I'm being weird. This is my first video, so I'm a bit weird. Yeah, and then I've got a sidechain compressor and then a bit of a filter on the build-up. So right there, it just, and then it gets back into it. It's just kind of a nice little tape stop-ish effect, I guess. Next on the basses. So the first kick I was using was this 909. Does not sound great. It sounds good on its own. It doesn't sound good when you mix it in with everything. Sounds weak a bit, in my opinion. So I replaced it with this other kick that I found, this other kick sample called Killer Kick 13. Ran it through some drum bus, saturation, and EQ. You can see the settings now. I'm not going to go through every fine detail. This video will be 40 minutes long, because this is just a work in progress. So I'll definitely revisit this in another video when I get it really close to done, because I'm planning on releasing it. So yeah, the kick I chose instead was this one. Beefier, beef. So I really like that kick, and then it works better with the bass as well. Something about the two bass relationships down there, they just sit really nice. And obviously I've carved a lot of high end off this kick, because this kick slap the best, man. And yeah, so I did that. And yeah, there's not much to tell about that. Drum bus, saturation, EQ, that's all you need, baby. Next on the sub. So I can't show you, unfortunately. My license has expired, even though it hasn't. I'm still paying, which is complete bullshit, but okay. So sorry. So I actually used Operator first, for the sub, didn't work great. Changed it to Serum. Serum works wonders. And then I ran it through drum bus. Oh, big surprise. Here's what it sounds like with it. Sorry, just with the sub. Adds a lot of dirt and grit and that low end shit you want. And then I take about I dip 100 hertz down on the EQ by about 5 dB just to give room for that kick, because that kick thuds and it needs its own space. It does not sound great without the EQ together with the kick on the bass bus. I think it sounds a little bit better. That's just me though. Next, I'm compressing the sub because you don't want massive volume spikes in sub. You don't want dynamic sub, especially in electronic. When you're in a club, you want it consistent. So a little touch of compression, flatten the level, flatten those peaks, boy. So yeah, on the claps. Claps are important. Just a little bit of drum bus just to fatten them up. Take the low end out with EQ because that's where kick and the sub sits. So every instrument that's not that should have the fucking below 100 hertz cut. And then I've just giving it a bit of room on the entire channel with this 909 clap on the bus, the clap bus, giving about 4% of a very short reverb, just to make it seem like it's really in a room. It just doesn't sound real or like authentic. It doesn't sound great without the reverb. It scrapes your ears. And then I've got this rhythm clap that Bibi uses. I'll quickly show you if I can get across. So that's Bibi's track playing. You can hear that clap going off like an epileptic dude on the ground. I don't know. Mine doesn't sound as good because I didn't want it to interfere with the kick or the clap, so I compressed it. I sidechained it to the kick, so it wouldn't interfere with the transients on the kick. It's just this offbeat clap is pretty simple. It's just a slightly different clap sample to the offbeat clap. I mean on every 8 beat clap, and then that rhythm clap is just a bit different. And I monoed it and then I widened it again because I wanted to choose how wide it was. Saturation, drum bus, EQ, a little bit. The higher was a bit harsh. Just a tiny bit. And yeah, that's pretty much it for claps. The hats. Now the hats are very important in tech house. Michael Bibi's hats hit hard. I'll solo his. They sit really nice together. I'm still figuring out how he makes them. All these different hats and cymbals sit really nice together, but I don't think mine sounds too bad. I think it still needs a bit further EQ to make it sit in the mix better. But on the actual hat bus, I've got a tiny bit of reverb, give that room once again. I think it sounds really nice when you just put a dab of reverb on the channel. And then I'm running it through drum bus. All the hats through drum bus. Give a bit of crunch. EQing it. And then SSL compressor. This changed it. Made those high frequencies punch. I like it. I think it's cool. And then from there, I'll show you the individuals. So I got this rolling hat that Bibi uses. You can hear it. It's just like, it's cute. It's cute. And then he's obviously got his offbeat open hats, which are what these three make up. A lot of layering. They've all just got saturation and high pass EQs. Next is the snare build, which he randomly uses in the middle of his tracks. Kind of funny. That's his track. This is my one. that little snare build is just a snare sample, snare 2 from the Ableton library, and drum bust it, high pass EQ'd it, simple. Next, the vocals. Now the vocals took a bit of work. They took some chopping because they're from Splice, and I got 2 separate samples. They were both in B minor from Splice because that's what key my track's in, is B minor. Bibi's is in A minor, pretty slightly different. So on the Vox bus, I put these the CLA vocals. I love Chris Lord Algae stuff. It's so good, man. So without it, with it, just brightens it up and you know, brings out the mid and highs, real nice. And then I reverbed it, reverb tails for this one. Sorry, for this chop lead in. Just gives it that extra dimension. I really like it. And then a bit of EQ, roll off the low end, and the highs are a bit harsh. So I go here. Yeah, I just wanted to take it off a bit, and then running it through a vocoder, a little bit of noise out of the vocoder. It kind of tames it a bit. I don't know why, but I've seen this trick before. Some producer was using it, and I'm like, I'll see what it sounds like, and it tames it a little bit. Gives it a bit of crunch as well, and a bit of sidechain compression of the kick. And one of the vocal samples is pitched down a perfect fifth, so 7 semitones. And then I pan them. That's my little trick. I pan everything, just to give it width. Because you get bored of all the kicks and the hats and not the claps, but the kicks, the hats, and the bass are all just sitting bang in the middle of your mix. We're going bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, driving it along. And then you got these nice little vocals just popping off to the side. So I left it like that, and then I got this separate sample. It's a completely different sample. It was like a call and response. So these first samples are that's the call, and this is the response. So yeah, it's not hanging tree. Like like that's a really nice sample that he chose, and then he kind of flipped it into a tech house song, which was the most unexpected thing of the bloody century. Yeah. Anyway, next is I did this high string synth. It's just a high string synth playing the E because B sounded too high. So yeah, I think B sounded too high. Just kind of sits there in the background. Next is these white noise shots I just made with one oscillator and operator, and just really thinned out with a high pass like Michael Bibi. You listen to Bibi. He's widened his. He's 100% widened his. So maybe I'll do that. He's a very clever producer. I like him. So yeah, I got that. And I did this little snare roll. Bibi does a snare roll here. That's Bibi's snare roll. Here's my one. Not great. It doesn't sound very consistent, but it's similar. Yeah, so there's me snare rolls. There's 3 parts. It's this thing. This, which is like, I don't fucking know what that is. It's like electronic snare. And that. So this middle part is the part I'm still trying to get right. Sound real, because it doesn't sound real. So on the bus, I'm just running a little bit of drum bus, standard stuff, bit of transient. And then a bit of drum bus on the middle part because it was lacking a bit of beat. Oh, actually, I dampened it a bit as well because it sounded really out of place. These old school samples here and here, and this one doesn't have anything on it. And then I sent the actual bus to give it some room. I sent it to the reverb send here, so I'm reverbing, compressing, and then cutting the highs and the lows quite a bit. See, it sounds even worse without any reverb filling it in, and that's pretty much it, guys. I got this little sample that I shortened that was like 8 bars long. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what I got so far. So, thanks for watching, producers. If you liked what you saw, give me a like, give me a notification bell ring or a sub, or throw down a comment on how I can improve for the next one. Appreciate all feedback, whether it's nasty or positive. I don't care. Just give me something. Give me something to work with here. And if you want to keep up to date with me, my productions, you can follow me on Spotify, DJ Bods, or you can follow me on Instagram, the DJ Bods, where I post photos, videos, and wacky shit of what I'm doing. Or you can follow me on SoundCloud, which is also DJ Bods. So you find me everywhere as DJ Bods, basically. Anyway, peace.